Good morning, third graders. It's Miss Jaramillo, and I just want to take some time today to go over what you're going to be doing in your on your assignment today. So we're going to be in our practice book pages, and that's what your practice book looks like, and it's the soft cover. And we are going to be on page 9-2. The front is going to be the reteach, and the back is going to be the practice. I'm going to start us off with the front, which is the reteach part of our assignment today. So please make sure to write your name up here. The first thing you need to do is write your name, and if you know it's today is the 5th, so we're going to also write the date up here as well. So thank you for taking time to do that right away. Let's take a look at some new vocabulary that we discussed recently. The word a fraction can be used to name part of a whole. Now, we also mentioned that the word fraction or a fraction is a number. A fraction is a number. And it has two parts to it. The fraction has two parts to it. And we'll talk about that in just a moment down here below. But we know that a fraction is a number that is between or part of a whole, just like they say here. It names part of a whole. Now, let's take a look at the next vocabulary word. Our next vocabulary word is unit fraction. So please take your time to underline the word or words unit fraction. Unit means one. So we're going to be talking about one of those pieces or one of the parts of the whole. So for example, 1/3 is considered a unit fraction because it's only one of the pieces. 1/2 is a unit fraction because we're talking about only one of the two pieces. 1/4 is a unit fraction because we're only talking about one of the four pieces. So when you see the word or words unit fraction, we're talking about one of those pieces. So for example, we'll talk about this down here. We're going to be talking about this is 1, and this is considered a unit or one unit fraction. Now let's take a look at the next word, and this word is the word denominator. Everybody say denominator. A denominator is the bottom or the bottom number of our fraction. Remember I told you there were two parts of a fraction. Well, this number right here tells us the total number of equal parts that the whole has been broken up into. So the number of equal parts the whole has been partitioned into is our denominator. So right here you can see there are 4 equal parts that this square has been divided up or broken apart into. Now, the numerator shows how many parts are described. I like to say counted. And the reason I say counted is because every time we count a part that they're asking for, we're going to add one more to the numerator. So for example, right here, they're asking for the number of shaded pieces. So again, remember, each one of these pieces is one of the whole, one of the 4 pieces. Now, they're asking for the shaded parts. So when I see shaded parts, I'm only going to count the parts that are shaded out of the total 4. So I have 1 shaded piece. Now, if it had said unshaded, I would have counted 1, 2, 3. There would be 3 unshaded parts of the 4. So be sure when you think about the numerator, think about how many parts you're going to count depending on what they're asking you for or what they're describing. So they could have said, okay, the polka dot sections or the purple sections or whatever they're asking or describing as what they want you to count as the parts. Now let's take a look at our assignment for today. one more example here. Remember that each one of these is one of the three parts. Oops. One of the three parts. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But they are asking for the shaded parts. So we're counting the shaded parts, and we know that there are three total parts. So we know that this is representing or showing 2/3 as our fraction, 2/3. So remember, there's two parts to a fraction. Okay, let's take a look at our reteach section for this morning. It says, write the unit fraction that represents each part of the whole. And I'm actually going to have you go in and label those unit parts just so you can see what that looks like. And then it says, write the number of shaded parts and the fraction of the whole that is shaded. So I'm just going to have you write the fraction of the whole that is shaded. So let's take a look at number 1. The first thing it asked us to do is write the unit fraction that represents each part of the whole. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know our denominator is going to be 8. And each one of these pieces is one of the 8 pieces. So in each one of these, I'm going to write 1/8. And you'll notice I'm using a slash. You can also use the slash as a fraction bar. It does not have to go straight across like I have it here. It can also be represented with a slash. So something good to remember about your fraction bar. Your fraction bar is the bar that separates your numerator from your denominator. Now, the next part it wants you to tell is the shaded parts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shaded pieces. And remember, your denominator is all the parts of this rectangle. So we know one more would make 8. So when you go to write this, I want you to write in words 7/8 with a TH. 8ths. And I did not spell that correctly. I knew that looked a little strange. 7/8 with a TH. Now, if you don't remember how to spell these words, you can also come back to this page right here, and it talks to you about how to say these fractions when they are written out. So if you need to, you can always come back to that page right here to help you with writing it out in words. Okay, now let's take a look at our next one. Each one of these is 1/4, one of the 4 pieces. Our denominator is 4 because I count the circle is divided up into 4 equal parts, and each one of these is 1. Now we're going to look at the shaded parts. So the shaded parts, well, all 4 are shaded, right? Of the 4 parts. So we're going to say 4/4. 4, and these fractions are called fourths. So we are going to write 4/4. Number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This rectangle is broken up into 6 equal pieces, and each one of these parts is a unit fraction, which is one of the parts. And I'm going to label them as 1/6. Now, how many are shaded? That's our numerator. That's what we're going to count. So we're counting the shaded parts for our numerator, the counted parts, or how many parts they're asking for or describing. So in this case, they're describing or asking about the shaded parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to write my numerator as 4, and I'm going to write it out in words as 4/6 with a THS, 6th. So 4/6. And number 4, we're looking at our model. This is another rectangle, and it is broken up into 3 equal pieces. And each one of those pieces we are going to label as 1/3. And they're asking for the shaded pieces, so there's only 1. So actually that's one of our units. So this is actually a unit fraction. And we have one of our thirds that is shaded, one of them, 1/3. No, it's just one third. Now let's take a look at number 5. It says draw a rectangle that shows 2 equal parts. So this is our denominator. Okay, so you can draw anything. Oh no, it says rectangle, sorry, rectangle. So sorry. Follow directions, Miss Honeymeal. Yes, right, yes, important. We're going to cut it in half. Well, I could either go half this way, and this could be half. I could go across this way from vertex to vertex. Notice how I said vertex to vertex, because each one of these is a corner, and we call these corners vertices. Or I could draw it going up and down. It's up to you how you want to partition that in half. So today I'm just going to go across the middle from the left side to the right side. Now, this is one of the 2 pieces, and this is one of our 2 pieces. And then it says shade 1/2 of the rectangle. Well, we're going to shade one of those 2 pieces. Does it matter which one you shade? No, because remember, either one of these is going to be an equal part of those 2 pieces. So this is 1/2. 1, and we're going to write half. Miss Adamia, do I have to write this? Yes, you do. Do you have to write the fraction? Yes. Draw a circle. Do the best that you can. Or you could even get a quarter. If you want to get a coin, you could get a dime, a quarter, a penny. I'd get a quarter because it's a good size. But anything that has a circular type of shape, you could use to draw your circle. And then I'm going to partition it into 4 equal pieces. Now remember, you can't just start, and this is the way you can't do it. You can't just start drawing lines down like that. These pieces are not equal to each other. So remember, the parts have to be equal. Equal parts, 4 equal parts. And we're going to label each one of these with our unit fraction of 1/4. Okay, so can't do this. This is a no-no. No-no. And now it says to shade 3 of the fourths. So we're counting 3 of these 4th pieces. That's our numerator. 1, 2, and 3. We're shading in 3 of these 4 pieces. Now, we're going to write 3/4 here, and we are going to write it as words 3 4/4. Okay? So just want to remind you that you are going to write these out as words. Okay, I'm reminding you that you are going to write these out as words, just as I have demonstrated for you here in the front page. Again, if you do not remember how to write the fractions, you can always come over here to the front of 9-1, and 9-1 gives us all the words on how to write 6 equal pieces as sixths, or 8 equal pieces as eighths. Now, the rest of your assignment is going to be on the back. You are doing this independently on your own, just like I did in the front. So you're going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to label each one of the unit parts of the fraction, just like I'm showing you here. You're going to tell me how much of that rectangle is shaded, which in this case is 1/6, and you are going to write it as words next to it 1/6. So same thing for number 2, 3, and 4. Just like I showed you here in the front for our reteach section, okay? All right, that's your model. Now, the rest of this, 5 and 6, you're going to follow the directions that it asks you to. It tells you to draw a circle, and then it says draw a hexagon. A hexagon, and I'm just going to share this with you guys real quick, is 2 or trapezoids put together. So I like to start with 1 trapezoid to help me out. Once I have that first trapezoid, now I can use that middle to help me with the other parts of my trapezoid. There's your trapezoid. Your hexagon. So I take 2 trapezoids and put them together, one above the other, where you flip it. So this would be flipped to make 2 trapezoids into 1 hexagon. Okay? So now it says you're going to draw a hexagon and show 6 equal parts. The easiest way to do 6 equal parts is through a triangle. And you need that center point to help you with that triangle. So that's how you would draw a hexagon, and then you're going to complete what it asks you to do. Make sure that you label your parts. So 1/6, 1/6, and so on. You're going to finish that up. Now it says for number 7, what fraction of the rectangle is red? It's giving you information here to help you with this understanding. Please make sure to draw it for yourself. Okay? Draw it. Model it. Number 9, a banner. A banner is usually in the shape of a rectangle. So go ahead and follow that as well. And number 10 is a multiple choice. It's asking you how to write this fraction in word form. So by practicing this, you should be able to write that in word form. All right, guys, if you have any other questions for today on this assignment, please send me a message, or you can always get a hold of me in Teams. I will be available until 1 o'clock today. So have a great day. It's Friday, so yay, weekend. And don't forget to do your DMA quiz, guys, and you write your answers on a piece of paper. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.